Welcome in, everyone. We have a fascinating story that is taking the internet by storm, and that is whether or not Iran has secretly developed ICBMs, long-range missiles, super missiles, if you will, with the capabilities to take out the United States of America. And this is getting a ton of attention online. So I'm going to break down kind of what's true, what's not, fact, fiction, what is in the middle, what do we know, what do we not know? Has Iran secretly pulled this off, or is there a lot of misinformation and bad information circulating the web? I'm going to break it all down for you. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe, totally free. Cost you guys absolutely nothing at all, and is a huge boost to the channel. Comment with your thoughts below. If Iran does possess long-range missiles capable of hitting the U.S., what should the United States do? How should we handle the situation? Or do you believe not any of this is real? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that notification bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a single thing. You'll have the best information on the web. And then right here at the bottom of the screen, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X D Hookstead. You can see it coming over here. That's where I am on social media. My DMs are wide open. Please send me any information you have there. I'll look into it. If you got a good tip, or just reach out and say hello. I love talking with you guys. Now let's get into it. Obviously, Iran and Israel have been in the news a lot, going back to the 12-day war, as it is called, although many people believe we're really just in a lull in the fighting and the war is not actually over, but we will get this situation kicked off yet again at some point in the future. Israel and Iran traded mostly airstrikes both ways. There were some ground infiltrations of Mossad inside Iran, but Israel relied on its air power, its aircraft, its F-35s, things of that nature to hit Iranian missile sites, government sites, military sites. They also really targeted the nuke sites. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat a little bit. Really targeted the nuke sites. Iran responded with ballistic missile launches. A lot of those ballistic missiles were shot down by the U.S. and Israel. Of course, the U.S. is the backbone of Israel's defense. They do have some other, they have David Sling. They've got, Arrow 3. They've got, obviously, Iron Dome. But some of those missiles did get through, and the missiles that did get through caused extensive damage. Iran's entire defense strategy is built on the fact that it has ballistic missiles that can carry significant payloads, and they believe they can overwhelm air defense systems by just throwing enough in the air. We can sit here and debate all day long about why that war went the way it went, but in reality, we all know that once those B-2s came in, piloted by the U.S. B-2s, escorted by F-22s and F-35s that bombed Fordo, Natanz, cruise missiles hit If-Shahan. That brought the conflict to a temporary pause or a permanent end. That remains to be seen. Iran has spent a ton of money developing its missile forces, its missile capabilities. It is the number one investment of its military. They don't have a nuke yet. They've had enriched uranium. They have not had it at weapons grade enriched. The logic for the U.S. bombing them was we do not want them to get that, because then they could, in someday, in theory, create a nuke, create a delivery system on a missile, and then obviously that would be a huge problem. But their missile forces remain significant. But have they developed secretly a missile capable of going 8,000 kilometers or even further and striking the U.S.? Is this something that they have secretly done? Well, this all ties back to some comments from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that are generating a ton of attention. So I'm going to play these for you right now.
Iran is developing now.
Hold on, let me restart it. So he's going to say that Iran is developing now this super secret weapon. Let's watch it.
Iran is developing now ballistic missiles that are intercontinental ballistic missiles for 8,000 kilometer range. What does that mean? They add another 3,000 kilometers, and they've got under their atomic guns, New York City in target, Washington, Boston, Miami, Mar-a-Lago. Okay, so that is a very great danger. You don't want to be under the nuclear gun of these people who are not necessarily rational and who chant death to America.
So this is where this claim originated that you have seen going mega viral on social media the past 24 hours or so, that Iran has somehow cooked up this 8,000 kilometer, or they're in the process of developing this 8,000 kilometer missile. If you add another 3,000 kilometers, then possibly they are able to hit the United States of America. Obviously, a very serious claim, obviously one that also requires great scrutiny. So what is true? What is not? How close is Iran to developing this mythical 8,000 kilometer ICBM? ICBMs are way different than your standard ballistic missiles. The range on them is way further. The payloads they can carry are way different. It's not at all the same. It's essentially a ballistic missile, but way, 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 way more damaging with way more range. That's why it's called an intercontinental ballistic missile. So does Iran actually have this weapon? Are they developing this weapon, or is it all talk? Keep in mind, Iran has a long history of claiming they're developing things that then they later never actually developed. We've seen this time and time again throughout Iran's history. Well, let me put this on the screen for you. I believe this might be what Netanyahu is talking about. Explainer: is the Khorramshahr 5 poised to become Iran's first intercontinental ballistic missile? This is from July of this year, July 2025. And it says, the growing speculation about the Khorramshahr 5, Iran's potential first intercontinental range ballistic missile, suggests that the country could soon join the small circle of countries with such weapons. In recent days, reports have been circulating about the Khorramshahr 5, an ICBM with extremely high capabilities. It reportedly has a range of 12,000 kilometers, which would put it U.S. smack dab in the range, a speed of Mach 16, and a 2-ton warhead. Unlike previous official unveilings of major Iranian military achievements, which are usually announced by the Ministry of Defense or the Aerospace Force of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the news of the Khorramshahr 5 originated from unofficial sources. Some media outlets falsely reported that a missile test had been conducted, sharing footage of the Khorramshahr 4 test from 2003. However, the possibility that the missile is ready cannot be ruled out. Iran has always maintained that its missile program is defensive, adhering to a self-imposed range limit of 2,000 kilometers, as stated by senior officials in 2015 and reaffirmed in subsequent years. So here's the problem with this. I'm going to pull this off the screen. Here's the problem with this situation. Khorramshahr 5 is a theoretical missile. It does not exist as of today. And the Iranians are not close to getting it or building it or having the technology to build it. Iran is a they are a poor country. They've got good scientists. Say whatever you want about the Iranians, but their scientists are legit. However, they are not close, nor do they have the industrial capacity to build ICBMs that can hit the U.S. Not even close. They are years, if not decades away from possessing that kind of technology. For example, I'm going to show this on the screen. Let me put it up here. This is a look at the Jericho 3 missile. It is Israel's most advanced missile. Israel obviously has way more money than Iran, has way more technology development than Iran, way more military capabilities than Iran, and they're backed by the United States of America. We give them their stealth fighters. We pay a lot of their defense budget. We give them great technology. They have everything they need to be the regional power that they have ascended to. I'm not going to debate politics and all that stuff, but that's just the fact of the matter. Even Israel, with all of their technological advantages, the Jericho 3, the range is 6,500 kilometers. Okay? 6,500 kilometers. So the idea that Iran, which can't even develop a full nuke, is somehow going to now develop missile technology that is more advanced than Israel's own missile technology with the Jericho 3, their best missile, which you see here on the screen, is just simply not true. Now, do the Iranians want this technology? I'm sure they do. Have the Iranians looked into getting this technology? I'm sure they have. But they're much more focused on developing ballistic missiles for regional use than they ever would be for developing ballistic ICBMs to hit Europe, NATO, the United States, for one simple reason. If you do that, they'd get wiped off the face of the earth the next day. And they know that. And so they're not going to do that. Their main beef is fighting a war with Israel and or Saudi Arabia. They hate the Saudis because they're oil rivals. They are the other half of the Muslim country in the region. So they don't like each other. That's who Iran is worried about fighting. They're not worried about fighting the United States. That would never happen because they would get wiped out. Furthermore, to tell you the technological gap, I've got some information here. Let me pull this off the screen. Do you guys know how many countries in the world have the ability to launch a missile at least 8,000 kilometers? Let me know. Take a guess in the comments before I tell you. And I'll tell you. I'll give you a couple seconds. Give me your guess in the comments how many countries you think have the capabilities to launch a missile 8,000 kilometers. All right, now I'll tell you. I got the list right here in front of me. The United States, the Minutemen 3, the Trident 2, they both can go at least 10,000. Russia has the RS-28 Sarmat, the R-36, and the Topol M. They can all go at least 10,000. China, the DF-41, the JL-3, they can all go at least 12,000. France, the M51 SLBM, 8,000 minimum. United Kingdom, Trident 2 D5, 10,000 minimum. India, the AGNI 4 or 5, 8,000 minimum. North Korea, the I can't pronounce that, H-Swang 17, H-Swang 18, 8,000. 7 countries in the planet, all of whom have a lot of money and resources other than North Korea, but of course they've spent their entire budget on getting nukes and nuke missiles. 7 countries. This is a technological question with a technological answer. The Iranians might be developing a variety of different weapons, but the truth of the matter is this. Iran does not have the technological capabilities, the industrial capabilities, or quite frankly, the money to develop weapons like this. That's not to say they can't sometime down the road. They very well could. But right now, they do not have those means. That's the fact of the matter. So I know people are talking about this a lot. I know people are speculating. The truth of the matter is, no, Iran does not have, nor is close to getting a missile that can go 8,000 kilometers, 9,000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers, 11, 12, 13, just make up a number. Doesn't matter. They do not have the range. And if they got those weapons and attempted to use them on the United States, that would be the last anyone ever heard from Iran again. And the Iranians know this. How do we know the Iranians know this? Because how did Iran respond when we bombed them in, what was that, June? Did they unleash their ballistic missiles at the U.S.? No. They called Trump, gave him a heads up, said, we're going to launch some missiles at Qatar, however you want to pronounce it. We're going to let you know they're coming. And then that's going to be the end of it, and we're going to walk away from this. Iran does not want problems with the U.S. at all. Not even a little bit. Just like when we killed Soleimani. What did they do? They launched a bunch of missiles into the desert at a pretty much empty base. They don't want escalation with the U.S. These are the facts of the matter. So I know everyone's got their theories, but right now, Iran is not close to having that technology, which is a good thing. You don't want those people to have that technology. You don't want the leaders of Iran to have that technology. And it's unfortunate because a lot of good people live in Iran. I actually have a good family friend with ties to Iran, and it's tragic. You can listen to this person's stories firsthand because there's a lot of good people in Iran, but they're run by, insane people, to put it politely. So that is the facts of the matter. No, Iran does not have this missile capability. No, they're not close to getting it. No, if they had it, they wouldn't use it on the United States because the regime's number one goal is survival and to get rich. Having said that, could they someday possess this technology? Could they buy missiles from North Korea? Could they buy missiles from China? It's possible, not likely, but it's possible. The Iranian regime would need a lot more money and a lot more technological infrastructure and a lot more industrial infrastructure to build something like this. And right now they have none of it. So those are the facts of the matter. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this claims people are making on social media? Do you believe Iran has this weapon, or do you believe they are not close to having it? Let me know in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys nothing at all. Huge, 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 huge boost to the channel. And then right here, hit that notification bell. All notifications turn on. Can't believe I almost missed that. Right here, David_Hookstead, XD Hookstead. That's where you can find me on social media. My DMs are wide open. Feel free to reach out. I'll see you all next time.